Get everything set up here. See if I can make this old interweb stream be a thing, right? Live. According to the internet, I'm no longer haven't started yet. Excuse me. I'm allergic to fun. Well, just week where you thought, man, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard of in my entire life. You got last week, so this will be a fun live stream. Oh, we got some sort of brought to you by a guy who sells cars for a living. Thanks, guy. That 25 cents of revenue, we'll put that towards my bacon. I'll throw us up to the kitchen real quick. Delay. Give it to me live, bud. Give it to me live. This is not live at all. It is the unlive play. Well, it's gonna have to be live enough. Okay. Yeah, what a week, man. There's so much crazy shit that happened. I was getting ready to start the stream. I'm trying to think, like, what am I what is the thing that happened this week that was like the most head scratchingest? I honestly don't even know. It's all a blur at this point. The lady that said that the roof was too sloped, apparently she decided to do something else for a living. Just like, I heard say that the slope on the roof that the failed assassin of the former president was on is technically Americans with Disability Act compliant for ramp angle. Less than that. It was than what a ramp can be if you are a disabled American, according to the legislation that the American people live under. The roof was less than that, and the lady had the audacity, even to like. I don't know if she was just speaking in generalities, but like sometimes when you say absolutely stupid shit, it makes you sound like an absolutely stupid person. I guess. I mean, what else can I say to that? I really don't know what else to say. What other absolute batshittery? You know, she testified earlier, and then later in the week, the head of the FBI was like, you know, hold my beer. I got stupider shit to say than what you said, lady. What did he come out and say? The FBI isn't sure whether or not it was a bullet that hit Trump's head. They weren't sure. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, leave no stone unturned and do the investigation, but I would assume a very, very preliminary investigation of the area would have been able to scratch that question off within 45 to 50 seconds. Because what you could do is just, I don't know, use your eyes if you had operating eyes, and you could just look around and say, was there anything? I mean, it'd have to be between the shooter and where the thing was happening. Was there anything in between there that got struck by a bullet first? Like the first shot? No? Oh, okay. Then it's probably a bullet. You know, like... It's just like... Another thing, I was trying to figure this out. I was like... What? Because like the I don't know, the dinosaur or the legacy or the prehensile fucking media, whatever you want to call it. The shit the old people still, I guess, watch because they don't know what else to watch, but nobody believes. They like ran with it. Oh, the FBI says. I was like, what the fuck are you like? Does it change? Like, I'm trying to figure out I was just trying to figure out what it changes. Like, let's just do the pretend. I'm pretending. Like, what is it? What would it actually change? I mean, I remember like this big thing. Ooh, that didn't get cleaned very good. I'm gonna have to wash that. Ooh, gross. I just remember this whole thing about like I'm trying to think what you call it. It's like an outrage, like a pearl clutching. Oh, like there was a time. I don't want to get too big into like which shit or whatever, but like there was a time where like if you had a question about the events of how an election went, and you said it out loud, you were bordering on criminal behavior. You're definitely what they made a term. They called you an election denier. But that was just right off the previous election where 100% of anything on television were just spouting election denying to the point where they're blaming foreign countries for interfering. And it's like, well, I don't understand. Like, is it one way or the other? What do we do? Are we clutching our pearls and saying, oh no, or are we just like, because like the when it was bad to be an election denier, that's part of a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? But now a conspiracy good thing. I was watching a little YouTube shorts this morning. There was some girl had a video and she's like, someone called me a conspiracy. So I think I'm going with it. And she was like, they hadn't live streamed a Trump rally since before ever. Like they haven't been doing them for years, except for the one that he got shot at. I was like, that's kind of odd, different. I wonder why that happened. That's oops, I just dropped that. There is a video. I don't know if you've seen it or not. One of the cops had one of the local guys had a camera running up on the roof after the fact, but it wasn't the first one on the scene, so you don't know who was there beforehand. It's just like, it's just so weird how it's like, it's radio silence, right? Like that's radio silence. I mean, I always just. Yeah, it is nuts, isn't it, Ronnie? Like it's just like, but like the thing that's so weird about it is like, what's the point of saying it? Like, to pretend like, okay, it hit the teleprompter and it hit his ear. Does that make it different? Like, oh, dude, it's like it's like, if it's not a bullet, it doesn't count. Take backs. It's like, dude, people are out of their fucking minds. I mean, I just kind of glaze over when people are like, oh, it's gaslighting. It's like, dude, it's gaslighting. We were being gaslit the shit out of. Like, it's just so, everything's so crazy. Like, I can't help but like, it gets pumped into my streams. Like, we gotta save democracy. It's like, fill me in real quick. It's like, well, here's what's happening. There's a guy in charge, and he promised he wasn't quitting, and then over the weekend he quit, and he put his vice president in charge, and she's just good now. But we gotta save our democracy. And I'm like, I don't know if that's democratic. Like, I mean, I'm educated enough to realize that I live in a representative republic, a constitutional representative republic. I understand that. But yeah, I'm all for saving the democracy, right? Let's definitely do that. But like, even with like the loose understanding of how the word democracy works, it's generally like has to do with voting, like generally. You know, in America, we vote for a person to us. That's why it's a representative republic. That's why when you do the Pledge of Allegiance, you pledge allegiance to the flag, it's America, and to the republic. You don't say to the democracy, it's to the republic. That's how you know you live in a republic. Anyways, they just come out like, democracy! Like, I'm worried about democracy right now. Like, has anybody seen democracy lately? Like, we need to do a welfare check on democracy because it ain't looking good. But yeah, it's just like, it's so ironic, like, and like, I obviously vote for, believe what you want to believe, but like, at some point, it's like, dude, it's getting ridiculous. Like, there was a primary, people voted for Trump, you know, he got the most votes, he's the guy. That's how democracy would work, like, you know, in the loosest sense of the term. But like somehow there's a threat to our democracy. It's like, I feel like there's people who've ran out of ideas, so their only idea left is to fucking say what they're doing, point fingers at the other person, you know, like. Oh my god, I can't imagine, but like what did I read? Like a dude wrote a book about our illustrious vice president and all the great things that she's done with her life. And it instantly got taken off Amazon. Instantly! They instantly took that shit off. with no reason or nothing. It had been up for years because he wrote it years ago, and then it instantly got taken down because there may have been a chapter or two that were maybe didn't show her in the greatest light. Like there may have been a couple critical chapters. It's just like, wow, Saberocracy ban the books. Like Jesus Christ, like it's so fucking crazy. It is so crazy, dude. I mean, I can't do anything about any of it. Like, I live in a state that I live in, and I know how the people in my state are, and I know how it's going to go in my state, but I can't control the rest of the fucking world. Like, Jesus Christ. It's just the most bonkers shit ever. Bonkers. Oh well. All I know is, like, I'm going to get some pop for sure for the Democratic National Convention because that is going to be fucking wild. I feel bad if you live in the neighborhood. I'd buy some insurance and I'd fucking take a vacation. That would be the advice I would give anybody that was living in that part of town. Because I don't think it's going to go well. I just don't think there's a lot of people that are 100% on board with that. Like, I don't know. Kind of not my problem. Like, I don't. That's somebody else's group of friends, not mine. But like, yeah, whatever. What else is there to talk about? Well, I'll tell you guys a story. So this is kind of cool, kind of expected and fun. I play a lot of video games. I play a lot of Elder Scrolls Online, and they have like 30-day campaigns. And the campaign that we've been in has been kind of a rough one. Like, a lot of people played on Red, and like it's kind of just been. I mean, they call them dead campaigns. It's where like it kind of stopped being competitive, and people didn't want to really play it anymore. But there's still a group that still always plays, so like it's still happening. So like I just play in the evening. This TV sucks so bad. It's just something to do. Occasionally I have comms, can talk to my friends, have some fun, and I just been playing, and I just keep stacking up points, and like. Next thing I know, I was kind of like the top 10, then top 5, then I was in 3rd place, and then out of nowhere, got into 2nd place, and then they had an event come up called, it used to call Mid-Year Mayhem, now it's called like White Strike, something, I don't know, whatever. It's just like a big event where they give lots of points and prizes away for playing in the PvP set. But you earn AP really quick, alliance points. And, the dude that was in 1st place kind of said he was so far ahead. He was millions and millions of points ahead. But like I was able to make a few million points real quick. I got into 1st place last night when I was running with my Legion group. Oh, it was so fucking great. We took the circle and just fucking beat the shit out of everybody. Like, oh, dude, it was so fucking fun. I had so much fun last night. That was such a good time. Just completely just curb stomping all those fools. Oh, fantastic. And it was like absolutely unexpected. I wasn't like... It kind of came up in conversation the other day when I was in like 3rd, and like I was like, I'm not gonna ask anybody to drop for me. Like it's like because the last time I did it was so stressful. The last time I got I had people trying to do shit to me in real life. Like I had people trying to like hack my accounts, force their attacks, all like in real life shit. Like not video game land, but like in real life. And it's like, dude, what was wrong with people? Like. Some people just can't stand losing when they think it's their turn to be winning, and they just go nuts, dude. Like I absolutely go. So I don't even know if I'll be able to imp again on this campaign. Don't even care. Got it last night. Got it with all my groups of friends were on, and like because it was just so much fun because like the server full and like there was so much going on. Like that was just I don't know. I just had like. I went to bed last night with a goddamn smile on my face. I was so happy. It was so fun. Like, it was such a good time. It's fantastic. Oh, well. At least there's still a few fun things to do in this world. Besides, get told that someone's trying to hurt our democracy. And we better get in line. Oh... I'm trying to think. There was like some other like just random shit that I heard this weekend or this week. I mean, there's always something going on, but like, it's just like if I feel like in a week, there's more shit that goes on. You can't believe that you can even account at the end of the week. It's just like, oh my god, that's crazy. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh my god, that's crazy. It's like, oh, I'm running out of the ability to be crazy. All right, let's cook some frozen bacon real quick. Okay, I truly. Oh, you didn't oh, yeah, dude. That was wild. Like, somehow magically I got, like, it was kind of weird, like, because, like, Luffy, I think he's in Dominion. Like, he kind of, I think he just wanted to be imp, but didn't want to be. I was on comms a couple times. He was just, like, kind of wanted to, he got it and was, like, good to go. And then, like, he was, it was crazy. A few million ahead of me, but then, like, in the last couple of days, I just made up, like, a few million points. And then, yeah, like, I think I got into first when I was in group with Dominion before Legion started. Like, I ticked over by, like, 2 points right before we grouped up. And I was like, damn, I'm in first place. And, like, I looked at the circle and I was like, dude, we're, like, halfway there. There's only 3 fucking keeps, but, like, it ain't about me when I'm with Legion. I know that. It's definitely not me, but, like, I definitely let them know, like, what I told Widow was, like, hey, Widow, I'm wearing a tabard. I'm in first place. Do you want to imp me? Like, do you want a legionnaire wearing a tabard to take the circle during mid-year and fucking be in first place, and then we could recruit with it maybe? And he's like, okay. So, like, at one point he just typed in the zone, let's imp elves, and it was wild. We only got it by, like, I mean, there was 2 keep while we took the last one, so, like, it was just seconds. It was like it could go either way, which is, like, super fun to do it that way. But yeah, no, dude, like, God, I was running around with like 50-something thousand health, just regular. And when I hit Vampire, I think I had 75,000 health points. Shit was bonkers, like absolutely bonkers. Like, there was one time at Sajin, I pushed out super hard on him, and then, like, the whole fucking, like, blue super mobbed me. I don't know how many there were, 40. And I just started pumping my heels as hard as I could. I made it all the way back up the hill. Like, I've never had so many people mobbing on my, like a cloud of blue, like, on top of me as I'm just, like, healing, trying to get back up. And they got me a few times, but most of it was, like, they got me on some really good, like, when they fear you and then they root you to the ground, there's nothing you can do but stand there and just get murdered. But yeah, they got me a few times. I got a boo. Someone booed me when I got it. That was nice. Boo! It's always good to have fans. I love my fans. But I mean, it's just funny because, like, it's mid-year. People want AP, I guess. I have to always remind myself that people play that game differently. Like, I'm pretty sure at this point I've got 120 million AP points. Just sitting there to do whatever I want with. I don't know what people do with AP, but I got 120 million. So I don't get worked up over, like, how much AP I have or can get, but, like, the game's called Elder Scrolls. You know, you were in group, you ran the scroll. We took our scrolls back. People were crying, so, oh, we're gonna lose our bonuses if you take all those scrolls back, dude. It's like, no, we're gonna win the night, dude. We're gonna win. We're gonna take our scrolls back. We're gonna de-imp that bag of shit. We're gonna put this bag of shit in charge of imp, and then yeah, it's the greatest game ever. Like, I try to talk to people who don't play it and explain it, and they just think I'm crazy, but it's like, I don't know. There's something just, like, it's so amazing, because, like, generally, it's good people you're playing with. You know, a few that are kind of maybe not the greatest, but, like, that's just how life is. But generally, it's good people. You know, it's not brought to you by Kellogg's or whoever. There's no advertising in your face, like, telling you a bunch of shit you don't want to hear about. There's enough dumb people in chat where you can kind of roll your, you get to hang out with the fucking people doing stupid shit, so that's entertaining. And then, like, it's a strategy game, it's a skill game, it's a luck game. You know, it goes your way sometimes. It doesn't go your way sometimes. So like, that's what's fun in life. You know, like you woke up every day and it worked out perfect. I mean, I guess you get used to it, but whatever. Yeah, no, that's not fun. I ended up playing like late, way late. I went to like, I tell everybody I'd play till midnight because like my eye, like at like 11:30, my eyes were starting to get, and then like, you know, people wanted like, hey, you're amped, you want to keep going? And they gave me the group, and it's like, all right, you know, I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm good. So I played. We were down to one keep, and I just said, screw it, let's push on them, and I took half the circle back. Oh, great. That's fun. Real good times. Yeah, it was like, so the fun about mid-year too is like people come back, like Star came back, MBD Star. She hasn't played in like, I mean, she's had some serious medical issues, but like she played in like probably almost a year, I bet. That was crazy. Just, I mean, I honestly thought maybe she's like, I don't know. I was kind of, she really got sick and maybe passed away because like hadn't heard from her like forever. And I know she's got some serious cancer issues, or had some. I mean, I don't think she's ever going to be done with that, but whatever. A bunch of other like people who used to play, they were back, which is fun, you know. I mean, I get it. People got to do other things with their life, and sometimes you get burned out. You got to take breaks and stuff, but it's like a reunion. Like mid-year's like a reunion where everybody comes back and just like had a very Grey Host feel to it with all those people playing. Plus, all the people who shouldn't be in Cyrodiil are easy to kill. That's always fun. The questers and the people that are just like, hey, I want some AP. We mobbed a couple that were like going into a buff to get a delve buff. That was hilarious. A bunch of like low levelers. You got to send your calling card, right? Oh. Welcome to the player versus player zone. Come back soon. That's kind of mean, but I really don't care. Like, I honestly remember coming into Cyrodiil because like I played a lot of like PvE, a lot. Like I did trials, all that shit. I had a guild that I ran with all the time. Like I ran daily with a guild, and it was always like we did the daily dungeons, and then we did trials, and we did the. You know, there's always like the guild was big enough. We're like, hey, I need to do this, and we just go do it. You know, like I need some gear, the arm, all that. And like someone's like, you've never been to Cyrodiil? I was like, oh, dude, let's go over and take a look. And I was like, dude, okay. So like one of my buddies took me over there, and like I remember we went to Cropsford is where we went. I think I need to buy some gear. And he bought it at Cropsford. And he's like, stealth out. I'm like, okay, I'm stealth. What's going on? He's like, well, there could be people here. They could get us, you know? Like, I'm like, oh, I was real nervous. I just remember, like, we just were sneaking around, like, we were just like, it's the end of the world if somebody found us, and like, I just thought it was so weird, and somebody found us and just absolutely clapped us, and I was like, oh no. And then when I did my mages, is it Mage Guild? You could do your Mages Guild in Cyrodiil, because all the books it takes to get Mages Guild are in Cyrodiil. So like, we just got a group of together. It was like, dude, if we just all roll strong, we should be okay. So we just did, and we had like a group of, I don't know, 5 or 10 or something. Whatever. And we just went around and clicked all the lore books. And I remember some dude found us and started attacking us, and I got him. I killed him. I got him. I was like, so that was like the thing where like it sparked to me, and I was like, oh my god, that was awesome. Like that dude was sitting at home and tried to like kill my character, and I was like, oh, I like that. That was some good stuff there. And I must have made enough noise about how much fun that was. And Cupcake, he's in Dominion. He hasn't ran forever. Another guy had some health problems. But it was Cupcake. He's like, dude, I got a guild if you want to. It was kind of funny, too, because he was like, they're pretty serious. You can't fuck around. don't give me a bad name if I don't be that guy. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'll take it real serious. And he got me into Minion. How funny is that? Oh well. My bacon's ruined. I got curly bacon. It's not the most premium cut of bacon I've ever seen. That's awful. If that's a word. Oh well. Oh well. So yeah, that game is fun. Good times. So if you're still watching, Ron, it's almost like a running joke now for like we'll be doing something and the Crown either defaulted. Actually, never defaulted. Never does it. It's Widow because Widow's brain doesn't work because he got blown up by an IE. He'll call out like 4 names to go do a quest or something, like a tower out. And for some reason, I don't know why it is, but your name always comes up like, all right, go clear that tower, Ron, fucking, Draco. And you have to yell louder for Ron. So it's like a running joke. It's like, oh, hey, what's up, Jeremy? Or it'll be like, all right, everybody go to the right. Except for Ron, do whatever the fuck you want to do, Ron. Because like you obviously can't hear the call. Like, oh god, like the belly laughs on it. Like that's like we're laughing so fucking hard. Oh, great. I don't know why that makes me laugh so fucking goddamn hard. I always be like, you're gonna have to roll your own and yell real loud because like he's in Appalachian. You're gonna have to scream pretty loud for him to hear you. Last night, I'm gonna run the scroll. I'm like, Ron's usually got his running shoes on. Like, give him 2 minutes. What happens? And you run back and get the scroll. I was like, see, I figured you like, we're good. Like, all right, run like the wind. Oh god, it's too much fun. It's too much fun. Like people don't even know what they're missing out on. Like, people choose not to do that. Can you believe that? There's people who choose not to have that much fun. Oh my god. God, I saw Wind run a red last night. I can't believe how much, like that's just a little disappointing. I mean, whatever. I don't know what the whole, like I'm never leaving AD, but I can't imagine going to red. Like, I think it would be blue. Like, isn't blue better than red? Like, red just a bunch of fucking, they just suck. Why would you choose that? Ugh. I mean, I suppose they're probably just going full rainbow then at that point, but whatever. I try not to let my friends leaving affect me too much. I just say let's get them like that. All I want to do if you decide to play a different color in life is to remind you that you'd be far better off not being on that color. And I always, whenever I talk, hey, why don't you just come back and play? Like, get off that crappy blue and come play for yellow. For fun. I sent Genu a message a couple weeks ago. I was like, dude, you're so hard to kill. Like, come play yellow, man. I'm sick of trying to kill you. And he actually logged off and came and played yellow for the day. Like, I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's a good guy. Good times. I think what else has happened in the world of craziness? I think I have a traffic stream. I was driving down the road the other day, and they're redoing the stripes in the areas of town where like there's schools and stuff, kind of getting ready for school. And they were doing double yellow stripe line on the part of town where like there's parking on one side, and it's not really a fast road, but like they kind of just want people staying in their own lane. And then they paint the stripes. Where I live is kind of like, the best way I can describe it is it's supposed to be like an airless spray gun, totally activated. And something must have happened to the nozzle, because like, the stripes went perfect, and they get to the intersection, they'd stop, and you drive across and going perfect. And then all of a sudden, for no reason, one of the stripes kept going, but the guy wasn't trying to like stripe a line, so he just drove regular across the intersection. Then he realized it was still striping, and then he stopped. And it was stuck and open, and it just started dumping paint. They must have finally got the nozzle stopped and he pulled forward, but then like there was just a puddle of paint. So when I got there, there's a dude with a flat nose shovel holding the pile of paint. There was cars that had just drove. They were swerving through the paint. So like the paint stripes were all just everywhere. And there's a dude running down the road with like a paper towel roll. And I'm thinking, like, no, there's no plan for that. There's no like, what do we do if type of deal. Like, so when I came back by later that day, there was just a giant yellow spot in the road and a giant stripe in the rot and a giant bunch of tire tracks everywhere. And then when I came by there like a day or two later, they brought a grinder in and they ground. I mean, I guess they must use some like super hardcore paint roads. Obviously, you'd have to, but like, I don't know. I would think there was something on the market stronger than a paint stripe, maybe. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. It's one of those. You see it, and you're like, oh, that looks like that's not. Looks like somebody's having a bad day. The old oops. And it was on a hill too, so the paint was running. Oh, there's something magical about like a flat nose shovel full of paint. That's what he had, a flat nose shovel, like just trying to stop it. Of course, I drove by, I didn't go very fast, like, you know, obviously trying to do something. I drive by at like 4 miles an hour, and my windows roll down, and I just go, oops, oopsie, I'm doing an oopsie. But yeah, no, that's definitely an oops situation. Well, this would be good bacon for doing jalapeno wrap bacon, because it's like auto roll bacon. Auto roll it up. Oh man, what else is going on in the world that's madness? I always feel like I talk about terrible shit all the time. Just anybody see the video of the geyser at Yellowstone kind of over geysering a little bit? Jeez. Like watching that video, it made me realize like let's see, why there was people in Pompeii who got stuck in the ash cloud. It's just like, it's like, dude, you have no, your self-preservation instinct is such that like, you're just like, whoa, I'm gonna run feet away from this and then turn around and look at it. It's like, dude, you need to get away. Like, that's not anything you want to be near. Like, I mean, even running might not be a thing you could, but like, you gotta at least try. He just kind of jogged away and turned around. It's like, ooh, that was close. Don't know if that's done. I mean, apparently it was done. They lucked out, but like, geez Louise. That's kind of crazy. What was it, like, earthquakes in Texas? Like, that was a thing? I really didn't read much into that. I just saw that there were some earthquakes in Texas. I mean, I guess earthquakes can happen anywhere, but for some reason, Texas is not on my earthquake bingo card. I mean, it probably should be. Like, something super crazy is like my home state has a giant fault that goes through it, but that's considered an inactive, like oh, that's not going to be a thing, don't worry about it, fault line. Okay, fingers crossed. And I always wonder to myself, do they say that because it's the kind of fault line that if it did go off, it'd be like, that's game over for like the United States, like crack the United States in half type of fault line? Or is it like, oh, we're just pretty sure it's not going to happen? Because I think something went off one time in the Midwest. It made like the Mississippi or the Missouri River flowed the wrong way for a little bit. It was such a big earthquake. It's like back in the good old days when you rode horses and everything was in black and white, right? Like the river go the wrong way for a skosh. The old Way River size earthquake. Earthquake, so I chalk that up to like literally there ain't nothing I can do about an earthquake. If I get earthquaked, that's a wrap for me, and I'm earthquaked. I just can't. Kind of like that tornado. You can get in the basement for a tornado, I guess, but I don't like to lose tornadoes. I probably should. I live in tornado country, but. When I was growing up, actually I need to blow my nose. The internet's making my nose run. But there used to be I don't know what you want to call it, a superstition, if you will, or a common misconception that a tornado, quote unquote, couldn't go across. I mean, that's a real thing. I've heard about that a lot. It's like, oh no, tornado go across rivers, it'll be fine. I don't know if that's just a thing that people came up with so like they could sleep at night. Like, oh no, we'll be fine. Tornado can't cross a river. Like, okay. Turns out, yeah, no, tornadoes go right across rivers, no problem. No problem at all with the old river tornado. I don't know why. I kind of feel like that's a thing that like up until like in my lifetime, because like there was a tornado that went across the river. Someone videotaped it. It was like, well, it turns out they can go across rivers. It always just seemed weird to be like, why would a tornado be like, hold on, guys, wait a second there. We're not gonna. I will say there is something about rivers. Because like I live right where two rivers come together and make into like it happens where I live. And I swear you can watch the radar, like storms will come through. They'll get to the river and just like boop, they'll split, go around, like crazy shit happens. So there's something to it, but I don't know what it is. Some sort of river magic. The house that my grandma, how do I describe this? When my dad was like in his early 20s, he built a house for his parents. It was on top of a hill, big house. It had a huge chimney. It was like 6 foot wide or something. It was a monster chimney. It actually went to the base. It was like flues and one thing, whatever. And they had a tornado that came over the house. And the low pressure from that tornado lit every loose piece of paper that was in the house, and it got sucked up out the chimney. Like it went straight up the chimney. Anything loose, any like magazine, loose piece of paper, right up the chimney. I remember hearing that story as a kid, which is pretty crazy. the way the wind works during a tornado is super bizarre too. Like, take a piece of straw, like a piece of grass, and fling it so hard it'll stick into a telephone pole. I'm trying to think, there was another one like probably about, it was like a tornado came through a job site, threw stuff all over the place, but then there was like a pile of wood just sitting there, but he said he walked up to it, he finger, and the pile fell over. It was that like loose of a sack, but like the tornado didn't knock it over somehow. Kind of weird. So like when tornado situations, it's a really weird. Like it gets really weird because like what happens is the winds pick up dust, and it aerosols real finely in the air, and then when light comes through it, it changes the spectrum, and then the sky turns green. So like you look outside the sky, and it's like, dude, if you see green in the sky, that's a tornado. Like, if you've never seen tornado green skies, whew, if you ever get to see it, you'll be like, yep, not gonna forget that. Shit, like, dude, someone's getting their house blown over. You see that? It's like without fail. I had one come close to me within like a mile or two, and of course, you know, alarms are going off. Everybody get in the basement. So I go outside, right? Like, that's who I am. And the sound of a tornado, dude, it literally sounds like a freight train. It's like, it's like, whoa, that's crazy. It's just up the road. I can hear it. The old tornado. Tornadoes and blizzards, that's what we get. Fuck a blizzard, man. What's really weird about blizzards is like, you'd be at your house and like, yeah, it's pretty, like, I'm trying to describe it. An actual blizzard is really so much of intense snow event. Let me get some cheese out. Hold on. So like there's kind of like a misconception what a blizzard is. Like, oh, it's a blizzard. Get the snow shovels out. I was like, what? Actually, what a blizzard is a wind event with loose snow. I mean, it can definitely snow while it's blizzarding, but a true blizzard is just wind howling with loose ground, and it creates like absolute whiteout conditions. What's super wild about it, I mean, it's essentially in town and out of town. So you could be in town, you know, and you could look outside, it's like, yeah, the wind's really blowing, and man, you really can't see much out there. It's like, woo, it's intense. But you leave town and you get out in like on the country roads where there's nothing to block the wind, and like, dude, it's called whiteout for a reason. Like, you can't see the front of your car. Just white out, like you can't see anything. And it's just like the snow just going like this, just going horizontal, just like a wall of white, just moving like that. They used to talk about in the good old days, like prairie, they'd get lost going to the barn and they'd never get found again because like you couldn't get back into the house. And like, no, that's not a thing that would be like, how did that happen? So a lot of people, they tie a rope to the barn, and then you at least you could follow the rope back. Otherwise, there's nothing you could do. There's no way to see it because it's just 100% pure whiteout. It's the adios. You're done. You've been whited out. I've drove in some whiteout conditions. Like, everything's gonna be fine. I'm not gonna be having a problem here. We'll just try to keep her on the road. Don't know where the road is. It's gonna be fine. It's just like, oh god. At night it's the worst. Like, cause your headlights just insta blind you. Like, can't see anything. Good times. I'm trying to think what else was going on. I just think that the Secret Service thing. I mean, I don't want to sound like a total conspiracy theorist, but like, so like it's almost inconceivable that all that shit can magically happen by accident. Like, just oops. It's like it literally can't happen. Like, it's impossible. And I feel like the reason all this crazy shit we're seeing in the news is happening is because, essentially, if you will, that was like the last play that the evil bags of shit that run the world had. And you can kind of tell, like, they don't really have a plan after that because it's so chaotic with what's happening. The whole impromptu resignations, the impromptu this, that. It's just like, what? It's like, are they just pulling audibles at this point? Like, I don't even understand what's happening. You're just like, oh, we're going to try this now. But, like, that lady went to the DNC. Like, I swear to God, and I feel bad for her, kind of. I honestly do. Because I'm pretty sure what happened was someone's like, here's the deal. They either like showed her something that was going to be a future event that she was going to be involved in, and she wouldn't have wanted to been or something. But like, they said, this is how it's going to be. You're going to do this. Sorry, I overfilled that spilling. But I think the plan was they were hoping that be a incident at the Republican National Convention, that the people would freak out on her and try to do something, like oh, an insurrection they insurrectioned her or whatever, you know what I mean? Like they were hoping for that, like, because that's the only that makes you. Why would you show your face after fucking up that bad? Like, what do you think people are gonna do? We're all gonna. You did a great job picking a dude who had a shit aim. Congratulate, Oh god. I'm also trying to figure out. I think I talked about this last week. Why the head of Secret Service has Secret Service detail? Like, why is that? Why exactly does she have a Secret Service detail? I don't understand. I would truly love to hear somebody explain that to me. Why would the head of Secret Service have a secret detail? Is That was one for the old makes you go book. Just like, what? And like, yeah, I just don't, whatever. I mean, I truly am. I feel bad for people who are so brainwashed that they believe anything. Like, I literally don't believe anything the news says anymore. Nothing. It doesn't matter. If they did a news report on me, I wouldn't even believe it. If I turned the news on and they told me it was Sunday, I would definitely check a calendar. I wouldn't be like, oh, well, the news says it's Sunday, and just no. At this point, that's where I'm at. Because it's like it's not even like, oh, I wonder if they're in on it. It's like, dude, they're definitely in on it. And I don't know what it is, but they're in on it because like we went from, I think it was like Saturday. No, wait, what day was it? Was it Sunday that old Joe Biden said he wasn't going to run for re-election? But like the day before or just hours before, he's like, I'm still running. It's like the news like, he's still running and how dare you? And the thing I don't understand, I mean, there's the official narrative and there's what's happening, obviously, but like the official narrative is what they're piping through your television, right? That's the official narrative. So like the official narrative is the President of the United States says, I am running. That's what he says. All right, that's the official narrative. The official narrative was there's nothing wrong with him. He's fine. That's the official narrative. And then they had the debate everyone got to see for their own eyes, and they couldn't cover it up anymore. But it's like, wait a second. That doesn't happen overnight. How did we go from everything's fine and everyone's telling we're fine, and then all of a sudden we're not fine? It was weeks before where they came out and said, if you notice the President of the United States wandering off in France when the G8 was there and it looked like an old person like just wandering off, that's a cheap fake. That's what they call it, cheap fake. So we went through a few days of being called cheap fake conspiracy theorists. If you just noticed with your eyes what was happening, oh, I saw that happen. That's a cheap fake. And then he steps down from re-election. It's like, wait a second. I thought that was a cheap, like, if you're a regular person, what are you supposed to think about that? Like, oh. It's kind of like we're not talking about that anymore. Like, we're not going to talk about that anymore. Like, okay. And we're all just supposed to pretend that all that didn't happen. Those couple of, years, technically. Policy aside, I don't think Joe Biden, even when he was running the first time, you could have given him a 12-item grocery list. He could have fulfilled it. I don't think he could have. I really, truly don't think he could have. But whatever. What was the other ironic thing? And like some sort of like Shakespearean tragedy, Joe Biden had to like announce he was not gonna run for re-election on it was International or National Ice Cream Day. Oh my God, the irony in that alone, just like, whatever. But gee, life ain't easier or easy. It ain't getting easier. So the next little bone to contend with is like, we had this, like, basically after the debates, everybody turned on the guy because our democracy's at stake, so they turned on him. Which, if you're a student of history, what that's called, ta is what that's called. When you overthrow the person in charge against their will. I guess they were nice enough not to hurt the guy. Although he looked like he was beach, he had swollen chin and a bruise on his head, but whatever. There was the reporting out of Las Vegas. There was a medical emergency. They contacted the local police and had them stop the traffic so they could get the POTUS to the hospital. And they decided to medevac him out. You know, crazy. Like, there was a while where people didn't even know if the guy was alive anymore. And it wasn't even like a weird, like, oh, I wonder if. It's like, dude, I don't know. Like, that was pretty crazy because, like, that's kind of a big statement for the world to make. And he made it on, like, he made it kind of anonymously on Twitter, not on White House stationery. And it's just like, can you give us, like, are you okay? Like, they got you tied up. What's going on? And that, you know, they might have had that conversation. Maybe just showed him a picture from Dallas, you know, in the 60s. I have no idea what they did to the guy. All I know is I heard him say with his own lips, the people voted for him. He got this many votes. The people spoke. This is what they want. And part of me kind of thinks, go for it, bud. You know, everything you said was true. I would vote for the guy. Even if he was like my party, like, that's just, I mean, I think time to go golfing or something. I don't know. But like, yeah, we went from he was running to instantly he wasn't. But like, all the pressure on Biden was directly a result of his performance at the debate. And the performance of the debate was such that people were like, dude, you don't have it anymore. You can't do this. But when he gave his speech, he's not declining the nomination for health reasons. He did not say that. He didn't say I can't do it. He didn't say I'm not. He said he kind of came out like in a sideways version, was like, they're making me do it. Which is super crazy because, like, I mean, everybody who's not absolute political shill hack understands what's happening with the guy. It's just, he's getting older. And I don't know if he probably shouldn't be in charge of anything, to be honest with you, but like, and then it's like, so like, it's all these things that comes next, like, right, so he can do the job. Who's doing the job? Who's running the show? Well, he has to run the show because so it's like you either have to pretend something else is happening, or you have to pretend something else is happening. It's like, it's either he's running the show or he's not running the show. If he's not running the show, who's running the show? And if someone else is running the show, why are they running the show? Because like, it's just, the whole thing's so weird. Because if they're gonna put the vice president as to be running for president, why wouldn't they just say, Joe's got problems, Joe needs to take a break and some ice cream or whatever, and just like, he would just be not being president anymore because they're picking her. Why don't they just let her be in charge then? I don't know, man. I was saying about Denmark and something smells fishy or something. Like, it doesn't, like, none of it makes any sense. There's no logic to it. It can't be the guy in charge so compromised he can't run again, but he's still going to be in charge. But the person who's going to be in charge next can't be in charge now. See how that's like that? That logic doesn't work. I swear to Christ, we can't have the person who's currently vice president be in charge because we're afraid people might actually witness what happens when, and then they might be like, oh, wait a second, we don't like that. I don't know. It's just so weird. Like, I feel like if you got a time machine, you went back, like, I don't know, pick however many years back and just say, I'm going to write down exactly what's happening in 2024. People are like, come on now. That's a little bit out. Like, if you're going to write a story, you have to make it believable. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no one's going to buy into that, dude. That's just a little too much. You got to make your stories a little bit more believable. And it's like, well, that's the story that's what we're supposed to all be like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't even know if I'll ever understand the Secret Service thing. Like, I feel like it's like it comes out, it's going to be the Warren Commission all over again, where it's like, well, this guy shot a magic bullet and it went around and rode a rib. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, okay. Stop asking so many goddamn questions. Oh, whatever. It's kind of sad to see that there's like people that are that fucking sick, like powerless. Whatever. It's just like, it's just wild to watch, man. It's so wild to watch. I'm just trying to figure out, like, when I was growing up, I had friends whose parents were like Democrats, I guess you'd say, like just regular people. Like, hey, I'm Christian, but I prefer these policies. And it's like, well, that's fine. Some people prefer different policies. It's like, what's it like to be a regular person who's a Democrat? I was just curious, like, what do you just sit there and be like, the other guy's worse? I mean, I just like, it's so weird. It's like, I don't know. Like, I didn't watch the Olympics. That's the other thing. Olympics is on. Like, but I've seen like video clips of the. And it's just like, what are they like? What's the goal here? What are we doing? What are we trying to do with what we're doing here? Like, I don't understand what the point is. Are they just trying to make people so fucking mad they're not mad about the right things anymore? Like, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't understand it. I really don't feel that old, but maybe I'm just getting old. I feel like maybe there's not enough people getting help for their mental health problems. I think that's going on. And I think maybe a couple people with mental health problems have gotten into some power positions, and then they're trying to turn my camera around. I mean, maybe just like, maybe a couple needed some treatment, got through. Hey, look at my cabinets. And maybe a couple people that should be getting help with some mental health problems in charge of making some decisions. And then some people who work for those who didn't want to lose their job, they're like, yeah, no, that's a great idea. Let's do that. I got an idea. Let's do that. What? There's like, you know, I don't really know anymore. I'm trying to think about it right now. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what should the Olympic ceremony look like? I mean, I know what the current one looked like, and I'm trying to think, is that wrong? It's like, oh, it's kind of weird. I don't understand the desire of certain folks to like openly do things that are intentionally done to like rile other people up. Like, what did they do? They did like the Last Supper, essentially, but they did it. It just doesn't seem like. Why would you choose? Like, why do it? What's the point? Like, why would you do that? Are you just like, yeah? There's a bunch of people that are gonna get mad at this. It's just like, but like, I don't know. Does like me having a beard, drinking coffee, does that make someone who can't grow a beard wear a hat? It's like, ah, what's he doing wearing a hat, drinking coffee? Like, maybe that makes them mad. I have no idea, but like, kind of seems normal to me, but. I don't know. It's just for people. Like, they think it's okay somehow. Like the one I can't understand, and I'm not opposed to try health and like fitness. I'm not. I could lose a few pounds. I'd be good. But I can also like go outside in 92-degree heat and do manual work all day, and I'm good. I've done it my whole life, so I'm not that obese and out of shape. I feel like they're trying to like portray being unhealthy as like an okay thing. It's like the logic is like you're trying to get a market share of healthy people. I mean, I guess there's probably a lot of unhealthy people, so maybe that's, but like that just seems weird to me. Like, well, profits are down. What are we gonna do? Well, we could convince everybody that being obese is a good idea, and then we could sell them fat people pants. It's like, oh well, you know, fat people gotta have pants. I don't know, whatever. It just seems so weird. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know the problem I'm having is I keep watching video clips and shit of like regular shit. Shouldn't do that. Like, it truly feels like there's at least two like reals. Like, there's the real reality, then there's like the reality that's presented via the media platforms, I guess. Which is so wild to watch. Like, I'm trying to think what's in the news, so it was just like, oh yeah, Elon Musk. It's like the richest guy on the planet Earth. But like, he's got a kid who I'm pretty sure is still a minor, who's doing the I'm not who I am thing, but like, I just don't understand. I don't remember when I was growing up that I had an opinion, anything that counted, or I got to do anything. I don't remember that. I don't remember like, you know what I just decided? I got an idea in my head and it's gonna be like, no, that's not how it worked. When I was, it was whatever the fuck the people in charge said, and that's like my parents, obviously. That's how it is, and good luck with anything else. Like, I just can't even imagine. Like, I can't imagine when I was growing up, like coming to the table at dinner, and I just made a decision that I'm no longer gonna be what I was before. I'm gonna be something different now. I just can't imagine how that would. They'd be like, "The fuck did you just say?" Like, it was just so weird. Like, I don't understand it. Like, it seems like it's something you want to choose when you're an adult. And I don't know when you're 18 you're an adult, but you probably ain't making good decisions at 18. But at least you can be like, "Good luck, good luck to everybody." What did I hear somebody say? They said, we're gonna have to have every register for the selective service here pretty quick, because what's going to start happening, there's going to be a certain group of the population, and there's about roughly half of the population who doesn't have to register. They don't have to, like half of the population. But yet, the half doesn't register for selective service, which, if you don't know what that means, basically means your name's in the pile for a draft, for a war. But yet, the people who don't have to be registered, they still get an equal vote in national elections to elect the people who would decide if we go to war or not. Pick your favorite war or whatever. And someone brought that up, like, well, that's weird. So if enough of the people who don't have to register for selective service decide to vote for a bunch of people to go to war, and then because of those votes in that war, and then there's a draft, there's no actual repercussions for those people other than loss of friends and family. Which I started thinking about that. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, I don't think I like that. I think we're either have to get rid of that selective service, or we're gonna have everybody sign up for that one. That way, when you go to, you can be like, well, I'm gonna vote for a guy who wants to continue the wars or escalate the wars or whatever, and then you can be like, well, I'm not 40 yet. I could be drafted, or you know what I mean? It just seems weird to me. It just seems real strange. I'm for equality. Let's all be equal. I actually did a thing one time that there's a website. You could type your birth date in, and it'll tell you if you'd have gotten drafted. And I got others, and I put all 3 of our birthdays in. I would have got drafted. My two brothers would not have got drafted. I would have gone for Vietnam if I'd have been alive. If that had been our generation. I think about that shit. I'm like, dude, that's so fucked up. I'm trying to. What's the difference between us? Right, we're all brothers, but like one of us would have gone and two of us went to. So bizarre. So yeah, I don't know. It's good way. I'm trying to figure out what they do now. Here's a real scenario. Let's say whoever gets put in charge, right? Whoever. And let's say whoever's in charge decides that their buddies that sell bombs and shit, once they're down, they got to sell more bombs, so they decide to get into a war. And whatever. Gets to the point where, well, let's start the draft up, right? We're going to have to do that. And now, in the world that we live in now, where you just say, hey, I feel like a ma'am now, like, can you just say, I'm a ma'am? Like, how's it going to work? Because there's no social repercussion to declare that you're a ma'am. In fact, last I heard, your chances of employment, I think, go up maybe if you say that. You may or may not have mental health issues. I don't know. I'm not sure how it works. I remember like kind of that from the TV show MASH. Everybody remember MASH? and someone like they didn't quite realize what Klinger was doing, because they were like, well, he was a cross-dressing tranny whatever, and someone was like, no, that's not what Klinger was doing. Klinger was not that. He was trying to get thrown out by pretending to be that, but they were so short-staffed they couldn't throw him out. But the person didn't know that. They thought that he was the character on the show that represent that. I mean, I guess maybe he was the character on the show that represent that lifestyle. I don't know, but sure, the way it was written was he was a normal person trying to get thrown the fuck out of the army because he didn't want to, and that was his best thing. But like, the more I think about it, I was like, well, maybe. Yeah, I don't even know, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was written. I was pretty sure that was like the way to do it. But, yowzer. I mean, even the way you remember television shows may be changing. I have to look at what the official reason for that is now. They have changed. Whatever. All right, where are we at? We went over by 10 minutes. If you came to the stream to watch breakfast and bitch about the world, thanks for stopping by. If you didn't live but you watched the re-upload, that's awesome. I think last week's I actually had like a couple hundred people watch that. That was probably kind of crazy. If you're new, that's cool. If you came here from ESO, welcome to my channel. This is me. I am Elveshelves. Someone in Zone Chat's like, I don't think Elves has got shelves, and I was like, well, my shelves are here. See, I do have shelves, but I'm behind the cabinet doors. Got lots of cabinets, but Elves cabinets doesn't rhyme with shelves, so that's why I'm Elveshelves. Yeah. Another week. I don't know. It's supposed to be a week, so whatever. Just stay hydrated. Prepare. I don't know what this week's gonna be, but I'm sure it'll be at least 2 fucking things that aren't on your bingo card. And just be like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even know. I mean, I have no idea. Like I'm still trying to like the idea that like the absolutely least popular Democratic candidate from 4 years ago is now the most popular Democratic candidate in the history of Democrats. I just like, fuck is that? Jesus Christ. I keep telling myself it doesn't affect me. There's nothing I can do about it, but somehow I know it's going to affect me, even though there's nothing I can do about it. It's just like I'm just like, all right, whatever. I mean, I'm not in charge of any of that shit. I'm just watching it, just thinking like, I have people that believe it, but like, how are they like? Oh, I can end on one last thing. This is fun. I got a text message on my phone because apparently what's fun to do is give my telephone number away to people so they can call them fucking money. So I get these text messages all the time. and I'm not going to say who sent me the text message, but it's a political text message, and it was from a major political party, and they were looking for me to give them money, which ain't going to happen. And it said something, I'm going to paraphrase this. It said, "We need action now. The Vice President of the United States just raised, whatever, $100 million in 24 hours. We got to respond. Please don't, to blah, 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 whatever." And it's text message. So I wrote back. I for Christ, I wrote this. I wrote, "Oh my God, that's a lot of blowjobs. Is she okay?" Because last time I heard it's $20 a blowjob, and she made $100 in 20. Like, that's so much blowjobs. Like, I hope the lady is okay. Like, geez Louise. Things people do for money. Is that mean of me? I don't know. I know who Willie Brown is. I know how it works. He was a married man, Julie. He was a married man. Peace. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you didn't get too mad. Hopefully your pearls are still strong. If I said something, your pearls go, "No, I can't believe it." Believe it. All right. Until next time, stay safe. Watch out for the crazies driving traffic, because the shit's getting worse and worse and worse. I'm sure it is in your neighborhood. Wear your seatbelt. Stay alert. Stay off your phone. Stay hydrated. Try not to let it, like, just try to, I don't know, go outside and look at a tree or something, listen to some birds sing. Peace out.